There are certain things in nature which are helping all the living things, children. Namaskar students, and welcome to part 2 of 7 Science, lesson number 3, Properties of Natural Resources. In this video, we are going to see the properties of water. Now, what are the different properties of water? We actually know a lot about water. So let's see what is given in our textbook about the properties of water. First thing, when you see these pictures in your textbook, they all give us one message, that water possesses the property of fluidity. Water is flowing in nature. It flows. So first property, which is the fluidity. Next one is universal solvent. There's one example of the oil given. Water is not going to mix in oil, but a lot of things can dissolve in water. That is why water is considered as a universal solvent, because it can dissolve a lot of things. Water is also very helpful in all the processes regulated by all living things, children, including human beings. So water is very important for everybody. This property of being a universal solvent helps all of us. Next one is, it is a coolant. We all know water cools off our body when we are sweating, when it is very hot outside, and when we come back home we feel very thirsty. Then we drink some water to cool off our body, right? So it is a good coolant. It is also used in the engines, children, engines of vehicles, to cool off the machine. Next one, water shows anomalous behavior. Anomalous means strange. Density word is given there. Why water is showing this anomalous behavior? Why water is showing this strange behavior? We will see a reason for that. Now last, density. What is density and how is it related to anomalous behavior? Generally, when you think about solids, liquids and gases, solids are heaviest, liquids are comparatively lighter, and gases are lightest, right? Density also, solids are very heavy, liquids are a bit light, and gases are very light. So our natural assumption is that when the liquid water changes to ice, which is solid, when the water changes from liquid to solid state, it should become heavier. But this is not so. When the water turns into ice, it becomes lighter. Children, it becomes lighter. It is not becoming heavier. Now why? There are certain things in nature which are helping all the living things, children. Certain phenomenon in nature which we can't explain totally through science. So children, why this water is showing anomalous expansion? It is showing anomalous expansion because when the water freezes and becomes ice, its density becomes less, means it becomes lighter. Children, you can see the activity in your textbook here. There is a picture given. You can see the picture there also. In this picture, ice is floating on water. Certain things like the pencil, scale, those lighter things are floating on water. So whatever is light is always going to float on water, and what is heavy is going to sink down in water. So the same phenomenon is used by the nature. Because ice is lighter, it will float on water, and when it floats on water up, down, the fishes, the aquatic animals, the aquatic plants, all the nature's creation, all the nature's living beings are able to live, are able to stay alive. That's a nature's gift, children. That is why water is showing anomalous expansion. So the aquatic life can continue to live. Beautiful, no children? Now let's see the next activity where we are trying to understand the concept of density. This formula is given in your textbook, children, in this box. In this particular box, this formula is given to us. We will see this also. Density is mass upon volume. Let's take mass in grams and volume in cubic centimeter, centimeter cube, cubic centimeter. In mass, it is always coming, children. Volume is always in centimeter cube or cubic centimeter. So the unit of density, how the unit of length is meter, centimeter, how the unit of mass is gram, kilogram. Same way the unit of density will be gram per cc, gram per cubic centimeter. Okay, so children, this is how we are getting the unit of density. Now let us try to understand this phenomenon of density using one more example. Let's see one interesting activity which is given on this particular page of your textbook, children. That's the potato experiment, but I just didn't have potato now, so I am using a ginger. Let's see if it works with ginger. See, it's floating because of the density of water. Because we added salt, water has become heavy. Now it's not sinking. Now, in this activity, children, you could see very clearly that when you added salt into water, its density increased. The water became heavier. And because the water became heavier, the ginger, which was sinking down in the beginning, started floating. Same concept is coming in the Dead Sea, children. Do you know about Dead Sea? In Dead Sea also, there are a lot of salts. So the density of sea water is more. That water is very heavy. So everybody is floating. Nobody is going to sink down in the water. Now, let us see what are the uses of water. That is also given in our textbook, children. I'll show the picture here also. First use of water. It is useful because of the property of fluidity. Because it is able to flow, we are able to generate electricity, and we are using this property of fluidity in many different ways, like washing clothes, cleaning utensils, and many more things. Next one, water is a coolant. Because water is a coolant, it is used to cool off the hot engine of the vehicle. After long drive, if the engine has become very hot, you just put a bit of water over it and it is going to become cool, and our vehicle will start. Because the vehicle stops when the engine becomes very hot. Next property, water is a universal solvent. Because it is a universal solvent, it is used in factories, laboratories, foodstuffs, and in various biological processes which occur in our body and in the bodies of all living things. Nextly, water is also used for cleaning, taking bath, and for our day-to-day activities. So children, here we finish the properties of water. I hope that I had made your understanding about this particular lesson easy. Now we will see the properties of soil in the next video. Thank you for watching till the end.